This is Mac OS Ken.
Another record close for Apple, a great quarter for the Mac, and a zombie site that should have stayed dead. It is Wednesday, the 10th of July, 2024. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSCan. 6 trading sessions, 6 record high closes. Apple shares did it again on Tuesday, slightly growing the gap between itself and Microsoft. Ticker symbol AAPL ended the day up 86 cents to $228.68. Mr. Softy was down $6.70, closing at $459.54. Apple ended its second consecutive day as the most valuable publicly traded company on the planet with a market cap of $3.507 trillion to second place Microsoft's $3.465 trillion. One financial firm raised its price target on Apple on Tuesday, though not with enthusiasm. Apple 3.0 ran part of a note from Piper Sandler analyst Matt Farrell. He's taken over coverage of the company from Harsh Kumar. Noting the 30% rise in Apple's share price since April, Farrell sees good reason for it, including excitement over Apple Intelligence and a potential bounce back for iPhone in China. From our perspective, says his note, the excitement is warranted, as AI could be a needle mover for upgrades. In addition, a return to growth in iPhone sales in China could create a tailwind as well in the second half. Additionally, a piece on his note from Apple Insider says he has heard the talk of Apple increasing orders for iPhone 16 versus last year's iPhones, and yet he is keeping a neutral rating on the shares. Given Apple's current valuation and the growing risk of a consumer spending headwind, the note says he and his feel like a lot of the good news is already priced into the stock. That said, Piper Sandler's price target was way underwater. The analyst used Tuesday's note to bring it up to just slightly underwater. He raised his firm's price target on Apple shares from $190 to $225. The Mac had a pretty stellar second quarter, according to the folks at Canalys. The market tracker issued a press release Tuesday that showed growth for Apple's line of desktops and laptops, up 6% versus the same quarter a year earlier, beating growth for the rest of the planet's PC makers and the market as a whole. Growth for PCs across the board came in at 3%. Nearly every PC maker did see growth, Dell being the lone exception. While Canalys doesn't speculate on Apple's growth specifically, one imagines the introduction in March of the new M3-powered MacBook Air models did play a part. Though its growth was the biggest, Apple was far from the biggest PC maker. Running down the list, Lenovo was tops with a 23.4% share of the global market. HP was second with a 21.8% share. Dell was third with 16%. Apple was fourth with 8.8%. Asus was fifth with a 7.2% share. And a big bundle of others made up the remaining 22.7%. Looking ahead, Canalys sees more growth for PCs driven by one thing ending and another getting going. Coming to an end is support for Windows 10. One analyst is quoted in the report saying the vast majority of channel partners surveyed by Canalys in June indicated that Windows 10 end of life is likely to impact customer refresh plans most in either the second half of 2024 or the first half of 2025, suggesting that shipment growth will only gather steam in upcoming quarters. As for what's getting underway, that would be AI PCs and Macs. Quoting the analyst, the market turnaround is coinciding with the exciting announcements from vendors and chip manufacturers as their AI PC roadmaps transition from promise to reality. The quarter culminated with the launch of the first Copilot Plus PCs powered by Snapdragon processors, and more clarity around Apple's AI strategy with the announcement of the Apple Intelligence suite of features for Mac, iPad, and iPhone. While the testing world waits for the first public betas of Apple's next big operating systems, there's still life left in the current OSs and still work to be done on and with them. To that end, there is a new round of developer updates about which to tell you. A few pieces from Mac Rumors had Apple seeding the third betas of iOS and iPadOS 17.6 to developers on Tuesday. Those were accompanied by the third developer betas of macOS Sonoma 14.6, watchOS 10.6, tvOS 17.6, and visionOS 1.3. Expect public betas of some of those any minute now. There should be news about the next season of the Apple TV Plus series Severance today. That's expected thanks to a hint in a Twitter post yesterday. Cult of Mac says Apple TV Plus put up a video of a darkened hallway from the show's set with a red light blinking intermittently at the end of the hall. The light was apparently sending out the message tomorrow in Morse code, so expect some kind of news today. If you love the 1981 Terry Gilliam movie Time Bandits, there is a lot to not like in the trailer for the Apple TV Plus series reboot of the show. God and Evil are played a bit broad. Kevin's parents are sympathetic. The time-traveling bandits actually called themselves Time Bandits. There is a lot to not like, and yet as a huge fan of that movie, this trailer made me laugh. Yes, it made me miss the movie, but it also got me kind of excited. As you might have guessed, there is a trailer for the show up now on YouTube. A piece from Engadget says the show's been adapted by Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement, both of whom feature in the show, along with Lisa Kudrow. She heads the Time Bandits. While seemingly aimed at kids, Apple is not doing the whole season at once thing. Rather, Engadget says the first 2 episodes will premiere on Wednesday, the 24th of July. Following episodes will drop 2 per week through Wednesday, the 21st of August. An off-kilter sci-fi drama starts its run on Apple TV Plus today. A piece from Cult of Mac says the Rashida Jones mystery, Sunny, is launching, or has launched, on the Cupertino streamer. According to Apple's description, Sunny stars Jones as Susie, an American woman living in Kyoto, Japan, whose life is upended when her husband and son disappear in a mysterious plane crash. As consolation, she is given Sunny, one of a new class of domestic robots made by her husband's electronics company. Together, they uncover the dark truth of what really happened to Susie's family and become dangerously enmeshed in a world Susie never knew existed. 10 episodes announced for this show. The first 2 should be up now on Apple TV Plus. And finally today, have you heard about the absolute crap around and serious desecration of the once mighty site that was the unofficial Apple weblog? Please do not go see it. Started in 2004 and shut down by AOL in 2015, the name was apparently bought by an outfit called Web Orange Limited sometime this year. And boy, did they make a hash of their relaunch. Engadget says the site came back as an AI content farm this week. If that had been the whole of it, would have been sad, but not sleazy. Thing is, that was not the whole of it. According to the recently relaunched site, TUAW was launched as a trusted platform for news and insights about all things Apple, quickly becoming a beloved resource among technology users. In 2024, the domain was purchased by Web Orange Limited, marking a new chapter in its storied existence. The thing is, they bought the site without its original content, according to the page. Still, they say the new team at Web Orange Limited meticulously rewrote the content from archived versions available on archive.org, ensuring the preservation of TUAW's rich history while updating it to meet modern standards and relevance. But a visit to the site included a list of the original authors, people like Mike Rose, Kelly Gamont, Christina Warren, who actually stopped working there in 2009, William Gallagher, who works now at Apple Insider, Brett Terpstra, and Victor Agreda Jr., who was actually the old site's managing editor. He's the one who reached out to me to write for that site in, 2010, 2011 maybe. And yes, if you're wondering, I'm equally as bothered for my friends whose identities were borrowed as I am insulted that I did not make the cut of pilfered people. All of the names on the list had associated pictures, apparently AI generated, none of them looking like the people they were supposed to be. It was Warren who raised a fuss online. That got the shenanigans turned into a story on a couple of sites, including Engadget and Apple Insider. That seems to have been noticed by whatever powers happened to be at the, quote, new, end quote, site. They've since gone and changed the names. I don't really wish them ill, but that's a bunch of crap. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.